Alyssa, and I like to watch movies. And today we are talking romance. We are talking love. What is it? How do you know when you're in it? And why does it make you kind of feel like you're on a garbage on? Dizzy, disoriented, but kind of loving it. Let the door fly off, because I am glued to the wall. I'm stuck in those sticky seats. Romance is one of those genres that I've always loved, but I always had a hard time really navigating when I'm like trying to figure out what it is about the genre that I actually like. Romance is one of those genres that I came to pretty late in my life. I was raised by a single dad. I wasn't watching a lot of romance, and if we were, it was like somewhere in time. But I've learned to love certain types of romantic movies. Romantic comedies, big fan. Historical romances, oh my gosh, the taste of things, have you seen it? You'll never think of food the same way. But one subgenre of romance that I've always had a hard time with is the romantic drama. Particularly the ones where we are talking about the politics of love. The politics of love is a conversation as old as time. Since we were telling romantic stories, we were talking about the disparities between what you want and what you need when it comes to love and marriage. But no matter which way you cut it, marriage is a business. Whether it is for survival or security or being valued and loved and cared for, you are making a business agreement when you decide to pick up that marriage contract. And this is a reality for everybody who has found themselves in the marriage game and the marriage industrial complex, if you want to call it that, which makes the conversation around love and marriage and money a very ripe conversation for a movie. Oh my gosh, that's right, we're talking about The Materialists and her follow-up feature to Past Lives, which, guys, another Sundance 2023 movie. We love her. Celine Song is talking about the politics of marriage while also blending in her own personal experience working as a matchmaker in New York City for about 6 months while trying to make ends meet as a playwright. In The Materialists, Song's screenplay follows the matchmaker Lucy, played by Dakota Johnson, as she weighs the risk and rewards of picking one of two choices: the rich financial guy, who is literally the man of her dreams, or her ex-boyfriend, whom she broke up with because he was broke. Oh, the choices. And as someone who fell to their hands and knees gasping and wheezing for air while watching Past Lives in a theater, I said yes. Whatever Celine Song is cooking, I am eating. Yum, yum, yum. Keep me fed. And when I saw that my favorite milquetoast actor and Pedro Pascal and Chris Evans, America's ass, was in a movie together, I said, ooh, I am booked and I am busy that day that it comes out. I am sat in the seats. It is my Pinterest board come to life. Are you kidding me? But then I sat down and then I watched the movie. And I said, what is this? Guys, I don't know where things gone awry in this movie. I think I have a sneaking suspicion that it is the common symptoms we're facing in Hollywood right now. Be that we're going into production with unfinished scripts. But I couldn't help but feel that the ending of this movie left me with some anti-short king broke man propaganda that I was refusing to swallow up. So sorry, but I'm not contributing to this weird machine of justifying bad choices, especially for folks who are pushing 40. I know it's ageist. Come at me. But like when you're 40, I would hope you have a little bit more of your life together. Also, like the whole views on like marriage and who is the breadwinner and what it means to be financially secure in a relationship is just kind of stale and a bit too traditional in a way that makes me feel like we are regressing. And I can't do that. I can't do that in 2025. Not in this year of the Lord where things are going absolutely into the shitter. And I am all for dating somebody you love. Hello. But like, have some financial goals, you know? And again, I am saying this as someone who is in love and who is financially on the rocks. I'm a writer and a YouTuber and I work at a marketing firm and I'm dating an artist and like I'm doing my best and I'm constantly aspiring to be more for myself and for my relationship. And I think that's how my perspective on love is shaped. It's like, how are you caring for yourself? And in turn, how are you caring for the people that you love? I have made all the choices that have led me to this moment and I embrace it and I accept it. And if I'm feeling a way about it, I look at it and I go, how can I grow from this moment? How can I adapt and change to be the person that I want to be and meet the goals that I have set for myself? Lucy, and by extension Song's screenplay, just throws ambition out the window for the idea of love. And these choices lead us to an ending that pisses me off. So this is your spoiler warning. I'm about to talk and recap the entire plot of The Materialist. If you just want to hear my final grade, you can jump over to that section in the video. I'll leave the timestamp below. But yes, this is your warning. Also, while I have you. Subscribe if you feel like it. I greatly appreciate it. You can watch me drink some mystery drinks every video. Today we have a poor choice in wine, really. I bought it the other day at 9:30 at Walmart. It is a Barefoot Riesling. Choices have been made. It's bad, guys. It's far too sweet. What can you do? The film opens with two cavemen who are in love. The man loves this girl so much that he makes her a ring out of a daisy and proposes to her. Okay, pop off. Hard cut, New York City, 2025. We meet Lucy, who is strutting through the streets of Manhattan. And she is on the job, girls. She sees people, clocks them, and goes, "You are rich. I'm a matchmaker at a door. Call me if you want to find love." And guys, being a matchmaker feels like one of those fake jobs that is like ripe for a romantic movie. You know, like a wedding dress designer or a movie trailer editor or even a journalist. But like, guys, she's like really good at her job.
She's really good.
And why is that? It's because she knows how to do the math. Call her Hypatia of Alexandria because she knows how to put the numbers together and make them make sense. 6 feet plus 300K minus a receding hairline equals a solid option. But these men are not enough for one of her clients, Sophie, and she is in struggle city. When she has a good date, the guy doesn't like her, and when the guy likes her, she didn't like him. So it's pretty complicated. She's pretty unremarkable according to Lucy. She is just average, and average doesn't, cut the cake. And honestly, I get why these clients are picky. They are paying 50 grand for these services. Is that like for a year worth of service or like a set amount of time? I don't know. I didn't see the contracts. And while Lucy's talking to her clients, she's doing the math in her head and she's like, what are people willing to invest in themselves to make themselves a more obtainable match or a more desirable match, really? For Lucy, her and her fellow matchmakers justify the fact that you can pay about 200 grand to get a knee surgery or like a lengthening surgery on your legs to add an extra 6 inches. But see, I'm saying this as a woman who's like 5'4" and 3/4. I'm like, here's the thing about me. I am pretty average for an American woman. I am like almost 5'5". I'm a good weight. I'm like the right shoe size. I'm a 7 in my shoe size. Guys, I can't find a 7 sometimes and it's sold out so quickly. I am just a girl. I'm just an American girl. Ooh, call me Felicity. Felicity is a good one, right? I always loved Molly. Molly was my OG girly. I love the American girl dolls who lived through war. Also, what's really cool about this whole idea of investing in yourself and investing in others based off who they are on paper is a really cool marketing thing that A24 did over in New York, where they took over the stock market for 30 minutes early in the morning and had a bunch of guys listed on the stock markets and their value going up or down depending on their height, their job, their income, yada yada, blah blah blah. But it was a really cool thing that I wish I could have seen. I also wish there was more hullabaloo about it, because it seems like some of it was a bit fake and a bit of a gimmick. What can you do? It's only in New York, and I hate to tell you this, I'm not in New York. Here's my note for marketers. I feel like if you're gonna do a campaign, especially if you're A24, if you're gonna do a campaign, you have to do it in what I would consider to be the 3 major cities, which is going to be New York, Chicago, LA. And then you have to do something that is more accessible for people, because I don't know who's going to the stock market before all those bro-y out, I don't want to say cokeheads, but I'm going to say bros. These 5 bros, I don't want to see them. I don't want to be near them. I don't want that energy in my life. So the girl who is the target audience for this movie, I'm not seeing that. Hard pass, brother, hard pass. And that's my one piece of advice. Call me. But like I said, Lucy is good at her job. How good? She has her 9th client getting married tomorrow, and she's going to that wedding, goddammit. But she isn't going to find love. No. She's in the love game, but she's strictly on business.
It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business, is it?
Unfortunately for her, her client is getting cold feet. The bride squad is like, Lucy, she needs you. And we get the clickiest, clackiest of heels going to see what the problem is. You know what the problem is? The bride doesn't want to marry her husband. Yeah, makes sense. Lucy is like, okay, why did you agree to marry your husband? Tell me that. Tell me that one thing. And the client is like, this is going to sound really, really bad, but I like my soon-to-be husband because every time he's around my sister, she is jealous because he has a better job than her husband and makes more money. And that makes me feel really good about myself. And Lucy's like, okay, takes this information, flips it and reverses it, and she's like, so he makes you feel valuable. I'm sorry, but that is a saleswoman. Give her a raise. That's really good.
She's really good.
At the wedding, we get to meet Harry, who is the groom's brother, and guys, is Pedro Pascal looking like a daddy? I don't know what to tell you. He looks amazing. I believe he's a private equity guy who is really doing well for himself. He is 6 foot, he has a great paying job, and look around, he's fucking rich. Lucy's like, okay, you are the groom's brother, you're single and you're on the dating market, I can be your matchmaker. Hire me to be your matchmaker, please. And he's like, what if, and hear me out, we kiss instead? Thoughts? And she's like, I don't know about this. And he's like, I'll get you whatever you want. What do you want right now? And she's like, I want a beer and a Coke. And a beer and a Coke show up. How does the man do it? Well, joke's on you, because the man who brought her the Coke and the beer is her ex-boyfriend, who is also a broke actor, who is also the caterer at this wedding. That's right, his name is John. Why did they break up? I am so glad you asked. In a flashback, we get to see that they're celebrating their 5-year anniversary and they are going to a fancy restaurant. Oh, but they're running late. Why are they running late? Because John's rehearsal was running late. He decided to drive his car into Manhattan and was like, we are going to find street parking that's free. Guess what you can't find for free in the middle of the evening in Manhattan? Free street parking. And he refuses to pay the $25 to park in a lot because he doesn't have $25. And Lucy's like, okay, well, if we're 15 minutes late, which we're going to be, then we cancel our reservation and we have to pay them $50 for not making it to our meal. And he's like, why is that a thing? Because that is a ridiculous thing. I'll be honest. I think that's a bit silly, but you know what? Accountability. And Lucy's like, you know what? I've had enough. I'm breaking up with you because I am tired of being broke. And she walks away and he does not follow. Do I believe that she actually broke up with him because he was broke? No. I think that is the straw that broke the camel's back, was this whole situation arguing. But like, he knew about these things, but like try to play like he didn't like know about it because he wasn't listening or whatever, because Dakota Johnson's character literally looks him in the face and she's like, I told you all of these things and you did not listen to me. So what the problem really is that they have bad communication. And would you believe that this 37-year-old man is still a failed actor and like can't get a gig to save his life? You want to know something terrible that I'm going to just tell you now here? At the end of the movie, he's like, I'm going to stop saying no to commercial work. What do you mean you've been saying no to commercial work? You are a struggling actor. Like, I know you want to be a stage actor, but buddy, a job is a job. John offers to drive Lucy home and she's like, I will accept it. And John is like, yes, I'm going to get back with my girl. Unfortunately for John, he walks in to see Miss Lucy and Harry dancing because Harry's like, I will give you a call and possibly be your client if you dance with me. John sees this and he's like, oh, so my competition is a rich, handsome, tall man. I'm f***ed. After their drive home, Lucy invites John to come upstairs and he's just like, I would love to, but I can't. And drives away like the sad golden retriever that he is. Lucy ends up going on a montage of dates with Harry while they are just having the time of their lives, eating at really, really nicely lit restaurants. Guys, I wish I was in these dim restaurants. Here's the problem with me. I have a thing where if I'm in like a dimly lit restaurant, I get sick. Like I get really nauseous after a while and I don't know what that's about. Any doctors in the chat, let me know what's going on with me, please. Eventually, one night at dinner, Lucy is like, why are you wasting your time with me? You are a unicorn in the dating field. People would be clawing at the Empire State Building to get to you. So why are you wasting your time on me? Harry's like, I'm investing in you because you are a catch. Believe it or not, you might not be on the same social economic status of me, but like, does that really matter in this situation? All that matters is that I like you. I'm well off. I can take care of you. So do you like me? And if you do, what do you like about me? And she goes, I like that you make me feel valuable. And he's like, great. You want to date me now more seriously? And she's like, yes. And they handshake on it. And then they go home. Yeah, they go home to his really nice mid-century apartment. And guys, I am also clawing at the Empire State Building because I love the color combo. I love the soft greens and the blues and the wood. Oh my God, my dream. You can see the Hudson River from that Tribeca penthouse. Oh, will I ever have something like that? No, because that is a $12 million apartment, and I think that is ridiculous. The next morning after Lucy spends the night, she wakes up, and Harry is giving her a key to his apartment. How many dates has it been, Harry? You just started dating her. You don't know anything about her. She could steal all your things. I also found this like niche TikTok of a like woman who writes about film and like fashion and film, and she clocked those socks that Dakota Johnson is wearing in this scene, and those are $40 socks. That's criminal to me. While Lucy is just kind of lounging and enjoying the luxuries of this apartment and her new life, she is trying to call Sophie to see how her date went that evening. Fortunately, she can't get to Sophie and she's like, oh, what the heck is going on? Whatever, I'll just call Mark, the guy she went on a date with. On the phone, Mark is like, yeah, the date went really well. Like, I think it went super great. Big fan. And Lucy's like, awesome. Would you like to see Sophie again? And he's like, oh, I don't know if it'll be like that serious, but like, sure, why not? And that is a red flag. Turns out Sophie was assaulted on the date by Mark P. And now Sophie is suing the matchmaking service and Lucy is spiraling, which I get it. However, I do not believe this is Lucy's fault. She's putting a lot of pressure on herself and she's like, oh, I am like the fault that this date happened. I put them on a date. I put her in that situation. I should have done the math correctly, which is crazy amount of responsibility to take on for a man's actions to hurt a woman and to make her feel uncomfortable in a world where she is being extremely vulnerable and trying to find love. Like, that is absolutely fucked up. And I do not have any time nor space for that kind of buffoonery or criminal behavior. Absolute jail. Unfortunately for this movie, it is the emotional conflict of the situation, of everything that goes on in this movie. And guys, the way it's handled is so bad. I'm not saying that this isn't a conversation that should be had in film. What I'm trying to convey is that this is not a conversation to have in this particular film. Because how it is used to grow Lucy's character to help her make the decision she ultimately makes at the end of the movie is like nonsensical and poorly handled and really just kind of undercuts the like emotional like seriousness about this entire subject, and it really just grinds my gears. Like, it really isn't working for me. And it's gonna piss you off because it pisses me off constantly. Maybe John's stage performance can really take my mind off this. But Lucy cannot stop thinking about the Sophie situation. Even on her sabbatical, where she is promptly told by her boss and a team of lawyers to stay away from Sophie, Dakota Johnson dresses up in her Reformation as spyware and decides to go and find Lucy after stalking her Instagram and finding a cafe that she has walked by. Like, girl, this is New York. How are you gonna find her? Oh, she found her. Oh, okay, it was that easy. And then just goes, Sophie. And then Sophie walks away. And Lucy's like, let me give chase. Let me chase this traumatized woman through the streets of New York. Seems sensible to me, honestly. The woman suing Lucy's company promptly yells at Lucy for matching her with a man who lied about everything that was on the paper, lied about his job, his money, his look, everything under the sun. And the woman is even more upset because she was tricked into believing that Lucy, the woman she is paying to set her up on dates, was her friend. I have thoughts. You are not friends with somebody if you are paying them to do a service for you. Like, unless like you have like a business deal that there's a signed contract and like you can like turn off your business side of you and have your friendship side of you go on and you hang out outside of working hours. I think that's how you can maintain a friend that you also pay. My second point to this is that, the matchmaking service is in the wrong. They didn't do their due diligence to check to see if this person was actually who they said they were. Like, I know that we're cutting public funding, but like, do your due diligence as a business and fact check, please, because you're setting people up with these expectations and you should be able to deliver on those expectations. You shouldn't be like, here's to hoping. Girl, in what world? Lucy is having a hard time. She is like, I am bad at my job. I need comfort from somebody that I know is going to make me feel better about myself. Let me call John. John asks her if she wants to come over and just talk about it and have some food and like kind of, heal from the situation. And she's like, no, I can't because I'm going to Harry's tonight because we're going to Iceland tomorrow. Why are you calling John? That night at Harry's, Lucy is being a snoop and is looking through his suitcase and finds, guess what? She finds a wedding ring. It's been like maybe 6 weeks. Maybe 6 weeks. So like 2 months pushing it. Why are we getting married? Why are we proposing? Why are we popping the question? Like, I don't even know Harry's favorite color. I have seen them eat meals together and gone to John's play. Why is he proposing to her? And you know what? Lucy doesn't know anything about him either because that night, while she can't sleep because traumatized and stressed out, she looks at Harry and notices that there's something on his leg. What is that? She lifts up the cover to see a bunch of marks like he had a leg surgery. Uh-oh, girls. That's what we call Chekhov's leg. Yeah. Harry had the leg extension surgery and he got the full 6 inches. Harry has like a whole like really great speech about it where he's like, ever since I got the surgery, people just treat me differently. And that is a real thing, you know, where it's like your external value has weight in the world. We like to say that we won't date somebody based on their looks, but like the reality is we do choose people based on their looks. It's like the psychological part of our brain where we're choosing people that like we innately want to like, it sounds gross, but that we innately want to reproduce with, where there's a chance for like evolutionary survival with this person. And again, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, especially if it's like you've been through a lot and you are in a place where, you know, you could benefit from a financial gain or like just a tolerable relationship in a very crazy, kooky world. And so Harry made this decision essentially to improve his chances for love. Lucy's like, I get it. And then she's like, I got a nose job and a boob job. And Harry goes, yeah, I assumed. Sir, there's the door. Lucy's then like, we should not get married and we should probably break up. And he's like, it's because of the legs. And she's like, no, it's not because of the legs. It's because we're not in love. And he's like, does that really matter? And she's like, for me, I think it does. And he's like, got it. Well, do you want to be my matchmaker? And she's like, of course. Mwah, nothing but love and light. She promptly leaves. Because Lucy was supposed to be going on this trip to Iceland, she temporarily sublet her apartment for the week and she has no place to stay. Maybe she could stay with a friend. You know, it's New York City. There's a lot going on. I'm sorry, she's staying with John in his shitty apartment with his 2 other roommates. Even John's like, I don't think you should be staying here. It is not suitable for a woman like you. And she's like, a woman like me? And he's like, a woman like you? Like, literally, we cannot be in this apartment. What if we went upstate? He's like, the check from my play just came in. I'm feeling rich. I have $2,000 in my bank account. Let's go party. On the way upstate, John clocks that his catering service is going to a wedding. And he's like, let's go to a wedding at a barn. But it's a really cute wedding, and they're slow dancing and having the time of their lives, and then they kiss. But then John walks away. Clap if you care. Lucy chases after him, and she's like, what's going on? And he turns around, and he's just like, are we getting back together? Like, what is this? John then confesses that he's always loved her, and he's always gonna pine after her, but he understands, like, who he is, and he is not enough for her. And he tries to give a romantic speech, and he's just like, when I look at you, I see gray hair. I see the wrinkles. I see children that look like you. And I hate to tell you, I wouldn't want to hear that. Don't say that I look old. Like, don't say that you want to see me be an old lady. But he also is like, I get that I am a broke, failed actor who's about to push 40. Like, I'm not enough for you. And I get it. But, like, you need to either let me go or choose this life with me. Lucy then rebuttals and she's like, I'm cold. I'm selfish. I'm a materialist. Oh, said the title of the movie. Take a drink. And then she points out that she broke up with him in the middle of a street in Manhattan because he was broke. And again, I hate to say it, that is not the reason why you guys broke up. They're really bad at taking into account what the other person actually wants and then finding ways to adapt their life to meet those wants of the person that they want to keep in their lives. They are not growing into the aspirations that they have set because they don't have aspirations. They have wants, but they don't have goals. And so they're making choices that lead to absolutely nowhere. And it's a tough city all around. Like, they're in the trenches, but they're not fighting for their lives. And it's so frustrating because, like, Dakota Johnson has a job and she's trying something. Is a job paying shit? Yes. Could she get paid more? Of course. But then, like, John is also turning down well-paying commercial jobs because of what reason? Someone in the chat tell me, because I do not understand. I'm at this point sitting in my seat going, this is broke man propaganda. You're trying to make me have sympathy for a man who's not trying? Ew. Get away from me. So Lucy's having a hard time. She's trying to process all this information when she gets a phone call from Sophie. And she's like, Mark P is outside of my house trying to break in. She's like, I'm calling you because I have no other friends in Manhattan. Girl, do you live in New York? Like, why are you in New York if you have no friends? Of course, the cops can't do anything about a domestic issue like this because he's not actually, like, trying to physically break into her house. But Lucy shows up, she comforts Sophie, and during this conversation, Sophie's like, I feel like I'm gonna die alone. And Lucy's like, you're not gonna die alone. I'm gonna help you find the love of your life. And Sophie's like, I do not believe you. Lucy goes, you don't have to believe me because I believe it. And then they hug, and this is the emotional catharsis that Lucy needs to choose love. hit me with a brick, because how did we get here? But you know what is nice though? When Lucy comes out of the apartment, she finds John laying on the sidewalk, just waiting and protecting these women with his life. And honestly, I did like that. It made me very happy. They rekindle the relationship, and John is like, I'm gonna try a little bit harder. Just a smidge bit harder for you. And she's like, that's enough. And they start dating. Again, clap if you care. Unknown amount of time later, we meet up with Lucy in the park, who's on the phone with her boss, who just got a promotion to go over to London. Good for her. And guess who's getting a promotion? Miss Lucy. She's gonna be the head of the New York offices for the matchmaking service. But Lucy's like, ooh, actually, I was actually gonna hand in my resignation for the job. And do what, Lucy? Be with your actor boyfriend who is jobless? You're both gonna be jobless people in New York City? Yeah. Makes a lot of sense to me. Like, I hate to say it, this is 2025. Like, you can be a woman or a non-binary folk and be in like a heterosexual relationship or like a traditional appearing relationship, but like the woman could be the moneymaker. She could be the breadwinner. You know who these like traditional like heteronormative like relationships serve? Men, the patriarchy, of course, but the patriarchy is designed to keep women down and tell us that we should like these small tiny boxes that we are put in. And this film seems to be implying that these traditional heterosexual relationships are what we should all strive for, where the man is being the breadwinner and making choices and the woman is docile and going, well, yes, well, I'll do. No. I'm so sorry. This movie is upsetting me. This movie is pissing me off. And you know what's gonna make it worse? Yeah, John proposes to Lucy with a little flower ring and is like, you wanna make a really bad, terrible financial decision? Don't quit your job, Lucy. Cut to them receiving their marriage certificate at City Hall. Boom, the Materialist. I'm upset. I'm actually very upset. I'm annoyed about how things ended. I'm annoyed how we got to this conclusion of what love looks like in this movie. Like, why are John and Lucy together? Like, actually, why are they together? They're in love, but I never kind of understood why they were in love. They broke up 5 years ago because he wasn't listening to her. He made no changes. She grew as a person, and like, she regressed to be back with the same man she ended things with. Somebody explain to me what's going on. Like, I am all for loving somebody if they meet you halfway. Like, you can't be doing all the legwork in the relationship because it's a one-sided relationship. Like, that's not how things work. You are not building a life for two people. You are building a life with another person who is choosing you, that you are also choosing back. Find somebody who is willing and wanting to do the work to be with you and create a fulfilling life. Don't settle for love or financial security. Settle for both. Because I don't think that's settling. I think that is treating yourself with respect. And I think that's what's frustrating me about this movie, is that Lucy is not, and I think that's really what frustrates me about this movie, is that Lucy isn't choosing herself or respecting her wants and aspirations. Instead, she is settling for familiar love. And it seems like this movie is telling us that the comfort and the familiarity of something is good enough. Kind of like the dusty tin of hot cocoa in the back of your pantry that you're saving for a rainy day. But girl, I'm living in California and it does not rain here. We're actively in a drought. And it's just really unfortunate because Celine Song's writing is fantastic in this movie. She has moments where she is being a straight up writer, and it's beautiful and it's smart and it's witty. Unfortunately, it is built on a rickety structure that just doesn't have any merit behind it. It has no purpose. It has no fulfillment. It is literally just saying, hey, what if you got back with your ex? And I'm all for the belief of there is a reason why this person is your ex. You are growing as a person and changing. Respect that about yourself and find someone who also respects you, respects themselves, and is willing to grow with you. Luckily, the composition of these shots really holds the glue together, but I think there's a few things that are working against the movie that go beyond the structure of the story too. One has to be Dakota Johnson's absolute lack of charisma and uniqueness and talent. That's actually really mean. I shouldn't say that because I think Dakota Johnson is a beautiful woman to look at. I just think she has this cool girl aloofness that makes it really hard to like connect with her emotionally, which makes it really hard for her to be a lead that we care about and are willing to invest an hour and a half of our time into. The math just doesn't add up for this to be a good movie. And with all that said, I'm gonna give The Materialist a grade of a C+. Again, gorgeous movie to look at. Oh, stunning. I bet you that the stills from this movie are gonna pop up everywhere in the next few months and you're gonna be like, oh, I should watch this movie. And I'm gonna be like, girl, take a beat. watch something else. But what did you think of this movie? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. I have been reading a lot of comments from the girls over at Substack. They do not like this movie either. They're being much more mean about it than I am, let me tell you this. Speaking of Substack, you can also go check me out over there. I'm posting all my reviews there, but you don't have to miss me if you just subscribe. I'm here almost every Sunday, essentially, reviewing movies, both new and old. Also leave a like, that really helps me out, and share if you're feeling frisky. But that is all I have for you today. Thank you guys so much for being here all the way to the end. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I will see you at the movies. Bye.